copywriting is nothing more than psychology. That is why words don't matter anymore. The actual words themselves do not matter. It is all about the psychology being used behind the words. If you learn to understand the psychology behind a sale, you will master copywriting innately. That's how I did it. So when we start to think psychology, that's when we start to really question the concept of direct marketing. So direct marketing, this is literally defined by Google. The business of selling products or services directly to the public by mail order or telephone selling rather than through retailers. I did not chop out anything. Through mail order or telephone selling. How many of you still make your biggest decisions through mail order or telephones? You got one person in the back. Right? Most people don't. Right? So that is direct mail, postcards, cold calling, direct selling, infomercials, billboards. Right? Infomercials. I love this one. How many people even really watch TV at? How many people actually channel surf at 1 a.m. now? Think about it. We got Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, DVR, on demand. No more Blockbuster, RIP. But we have the ability to control our environment. I just said something that you really need to grab onto. We as consumers have the ability to control our environment. So innately, we have the ability as consumers to control what marketing we see. And so all of a sudden, we've introduced something brand new into the sales psychology, which is choice. And that just changes everything. So look at this. Look at where companies, the biggest companies in the world, are investing and increasing at the greatest pace. Email marketing, social media, online display advertising, mobile marketing, search. And finally, what is it? 1, 2, 3, number 6 is public relations. The top 5 things that companies are investing the most money in now are all things where direct marketing just doesn't apply anymore. So here's how things are different. Earlier, we had cold calling, right? What's our reaction to cold calls today? I have a really cool app that actually answers the phone for cold callers. I pay $2 a month for this to get to get all the giggles out of listening to it later on. It'll answer the phone and it'll be like, hello, I'm just brushing my teeth. Hold on one sec. What? Martha, get out of there! And you can hear the other person like, excuse me, hello? This is Michael from GoDaddy? It's like, yeah, just hold on 1 second, all right? Aw, crap. I just dropped my toothbrush in the toilet. And it is so fun to listen to the response of the other people on the other side. That's what cold calling is to me now. It's freaking entertainment at 11 at night before I go to bed. Let's see which people I mess with today. Right? Most of you in this room are here because I sent you an email. How many of you are here because you got an email that said there's a session going on? All right. It's not because I cold called you. You didn't answer your phone. It's like, hey, this is Anik Singal calling from the Lurn Center. We'd love to come out. No, we didn't even bother with that. I sent an email. You know what's so awesome about email? I can send 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, a million of them at the same time it takes to do a cold call. Cold calling operations, even back 20 years ago, $1 a call, $1.50 a call. First, you had to buy the database from data companies, then give it to these telephone companies, and they would robo-dial. They have a huge room full of humans that are on the phone dialing. So if I wanted to reach out to 1 million people, I probably would cost me $1.5 to $2 million. Today, this morning, I sent out over 900,000 emails. Didn't cost me nothing. Okay, direct mail. How many of you still run to your mailbox to see what mail you have that day? Come on, raise your hands, be honest. I forget to check the mail most of the time. And here's how, if I do check the mail, let's imagine this is the mailbox, and that's my garage door. By the time I get to here, it's like a, I don't know, a postcard from a friend. Everything else, chucked. Here's the other thing. 20 years ago, 20 years ago, you'd get the mail. Everyone get their little glasses on, get the mail opener out. You had a special place in the house where you sat to read the mail. It was a really intimate experience. You had time devoted to it every day. This was my mail time, right? And when a letter came in the mail, and it said, how to make $1 million by tomorrow, you're like, whoo, open, pull it out, and you read, because what else are you going to do? And at the very end, it makes an offer, and it says, call this phone number to buy this. So you think, okay. You know what happens today? First of all, that mail's never read. But if there is a direct mail that says something, before you get through the first page, you are on Google. You're calling your buddy Sam. You're, hey, have you heard of this guy, Anik Singal? What the heck? What's he doing? What's his Lurn Center thing? What's going on over there? You're on this, you're on that. You're talking to people. You're doing your research. So we have the written sales letter now. There's another reason. I can't keep your attention with a physical piece of mail. You have an attention span less than of a goldfish. So unless that physical piece of mail is going to reach out and slap you around every 8 seconds, I can't keep your attention. But you go to a written sales page on a website, there's a video, there could be audio, there's colors, there's images, there's infographics and data and statistics, and that keeps you engaged. All right, infomercials. We already talked about this. How many people are still flipping their channels at one? Right? But now we have full control, video sales letters. So again, choice, right? Control. The consumer says, you know what? I choose to watch this video. So I also have the choice of shutting it off at any moment that I want. Chrome recently, I don't know if you guys have noticed, has now they don't allow autoplay. They just literally removed autoplay. So marketers are freaking out everywhere. Just gave consumers even more choice. Now when you land on a page that has a video, it won't even autoplay. You have to, again, choose play. So again, everything is going towards control for consumers. And last but not least, physical events, face-to-face. How often do we still see these? Versus just, isn't it easier to get on a webinar? I mean, I get on a webinar, I can have 1,000 people from all over the world. Literally, I've been on webinars with people from Australia, from Canada, from the United States, from Mexico, from Europe, everywhere, from South America, from South Africa. I mean, it's everywhere. And I'm sitting there, and people don't even realize I'm only wearing a shirt. The rest of it is just boxers. I'm hanging out. Right? It's so much easier. So the way we sell today has completely changed, and I don't know why that looks like that, but welcome to the world of interactive e-marketing. Welcome to the world of interactive marketing, the new form of selling. So I'm actually currently writing a book set to release early next year that's called The Birth of Interactive Marketing. The reason is, in order to engage with you, in order to keep your attention, I got to get you to interact with me. Even if I'm not physically there, I got to get you to interact with me. How many of you have noticed, even in this session, I'll say yes, raise your hand. Because if I don't, you're like, say yes, yes, I'm here, I'm back on it, I'm back, right? But go with the consumer's mind. You got to engage with them. So interactive marketing changes everything. I love this because Robert literally said this to me, and it was probably one of the most proud moments because the first book I ever read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Changed my life forever. And he said the entire approach to selling has been changed by the way I do things. It's like it's not even selling anymore, right? And so I define interactive marketing as the art of selling products by using new technologies that help create relationship, connection, and trust using, what's that? Very key part of interactive marketing. Micro commitments, engagements, interaction, super important, right? So there are 3 undeniable advantages to interactive marketing. Number 1 is incredibly less risk and less investment and superbly faster execution. We'll talk about this. There's a good and a bad to this, by the way. There's a good and a bad. Number 2 concept I call shotgun versus sniper. We're going to talk about this as well. And number 3 I call keep it simple. All right? So the very first one, less risk, less investment, faster execution. 20 years ago, if you wanted to do a direct marketing campaign, I would challenge you to do it for less than $20, $30, or $40,000. That's what it would cost to test something. This is why copywriters would be paid $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, $100,000 to write copy before a company even tested a product, because they knew we'll end up spending $250,000 in buying the data, physically printing, mailing the data, and then having to wait weeks to collect the data. Is it work? Did people buy? So we might as well go ahead, give ourselves the best chance, and invest in a great copywriter up front. So there was a massive, massive, massive deterrent to enter the market. People like you and I could not get in. We couldn't compete with these big companies. Today, if you have $5, you can start an ad campaign. So what has that done? It's flooded the market with advertisers. It's opened up a great opportunity, but Facebook is facing a big issue right now. If you're on Facebook, you are competing with 6 million other active advertisers. We yet again are training consumers to be more selective, to need more engagement, right? But it's a good thing as well because it's accessible now and it's self-administered. Can you imagine buying a billboard? Where do you even call? Who do you talk to? Who's going to design that billboard? Right? How do you determine which location is the right location? All of this used to be data-driven. You had to get an advertising agency. Today, buy a banner ad, most of you could have it up before we're done with the session. It's pretty powerful stuff. Number 2, now this is one of my favorite ones, and this is why I think copywriting has innately become much easier. It's the shotgun versus sniper. Okay, 20 years ago, here's how my targeting would work. So 20 years ago, I would say, I'm selling a product that would most likely be sold to women above 40 who are affluent and wealthy. They'd say, great, West Coast, these demographics, these zip codes will have that kind of audience. Go for it. Okay, so I buy 200,000 names and addresses, and I send it out. Now, I might be selling I don't know, some fancy knives. Do I really think all 200,000 people that I'm targeting are going to want knives? Woke up that morning thinking, God, I just need a better set of knives. So what did I have to do? That's what I call the shotgun. I got to spread my bullets. And I got to write something that is so sexy that even if you didn't wake up that morning thinking about knives, I got to get you to think about knives. So the words are even more important. So that was shotgun. Versus today, it's very simple. You want to write an ad on Facebook? Right now. You can actually go to Facebook and say, within 30-mile radius of said location, owns an iPhone, is a woman above certain age, has shown an interest in kitchenware or knives. You can get even more specific. Straight in. You know why writing an ad for that person is so easy? The top of the ad says, looking for a great set of knives? 50% off. Try these. Watch the video. Simple. Didn't have to get fancy. You could take that ad formula and just replace any product name you want in there. It's because I snipered in, right? I know what that person's looking for specifically. Just makes everything easier, and that's where Keep It Simple comes from. No need for fancy words. If you can do the targeting right, you know more about that person than maybe they know about themselves. If you ever log into Facebook, it is creepy. I mean, I can get my targeting down so specific, that it's almost like I'm talking directly to the person. Now, as a consumer, that's scary, but as a marketer, that's brilliant.